Hi there, my name is Zaik and I am your vulnerable human. I create posts about a variety of different issues that we face as people, and not from the perspective of someone trying to give you all the answers, because frankly, I'm going through the same problems that you're potentially experiencing yourself, and I just want to go on this journey with other people, not feel ashamed about discussing mental illness, other vulnerable points. Heck, when I was 18, this boy in high school broke my heart and I stalked his ass for like 5 years. Now, I didn't do anything illegal, but still, I was obsessed with him. It was embarrassing. I spent 5 years pining over some douchebag teenager. We're here to talk, we're here to vent, and we're here to feel heard. All right, so quick viewer discretion, we will be discussing some upsetting topics. If you feel like even the slightest mention of suicide or some deep emotional issues is going to trigger you and put you in a worse place, please, my love, leave now. Come back when you feel you're in a safe and stable mindset to be able to watch videos like this. All right, without further ado, let's get started. Today's topic is about the feeling of emptiness. So, for me, folks, it is like an insatiable black hole centered in my chest. No matter how productive I am, or how positive my mind frame is, or even like if I'm surrounded by a lot of really good, supportive people, I just can't shake that feeling of incompleteness. Now, I think a lot of us going through this can agree that the feelings of emptiness, whether it's a lack of purpose or a lack of belonging or whatever other personal struggle is leading us to feel this way, it becomes so intense, right, and consequently overwhelming that bad thoughts creep in. And for myself personally, every time I would go through this sense of feeling like a half human, as though I had developed this idea, like with certainty, that I was never going to enjoy the same fruits of life as other people, such as kinship, falling in love with someone who is actually good for me, having a career that I love, feeling complete wholeness. I decided, and it just threw me off so much that I would instantly go to that mindset of, I just want to die. And this happened regularly for the last 2 decades, okay? So I know it's fucking hard when you go through it, believe. But thank goodness I have experience. I'm going to give you feedback, not so much advice, okay? I'm not a psychologist. 1, acknowledge that you are going through this. All right? There is no way to avoid it. There is no way to stop it midway. You need to go through it. All right? So accept that you are experiencing this, that there are either problems that you're aware of but just have been struggling to deal with, or that you still haven't identified the issue at hand. We're just accepting that that is the case, and we're acknowledging that we're going through this experience. And perspective. You don't feel this way because your body is trying to destroy you, because the world is against you. That's exactly how I feel. You're going through this because your inner self is telling you, hey, there's something wrong and we need to deal with this. So perspective. It's about helping you develop. It's not about your world coming to an end. And 3, go through it. I know I've already said this. Don't try and supersede it by focusing your energy on your fitness or your career or whatever. Distractions do not fix the problem. It pisses me off that professionals will actually be like, distract yourself. If you have an anchor where You can go through some intense emotions and you know you're not going to do anything self-destructive like attempt suicide or go binge drinking and do something you'll regret or harm other people, including yourself. If you can have that confidence there, go fucking through it. Because this is something, it's like a bank loan. Ignoring it, pretending like it's not there, is not gonna make it go away. If your body is telling you that it's time for us to go through this, and I'm sorry that you're going through it, but you need to do it so that you can come out on the other side better, not worse, but having a clearer understanding of what your needs are, which you may not know, by the way. That's one of the great things about going through shit. It comes with some clarity at the end, most of the time. All right, so next up, coping mechanisms. What I do personally is what I'm going to share. There are plenty of resources out there that give you some tips on how you can deal with depression, anxiety, or certain symptoms like feeling empty inside. I've also added a link to Psych Central's explanation of feeling empty. I think it's on the ball. It's simple yet informative. So, I am currently receiving professional support from an experienced psychologist who I connect with and feel I can be open with. He sees a lot of good in me, which did come as a surprise. Somehow he found a way. And trust me, arguing with me is not easy, but this guy found a way to get me to see a different perspective, and it has helped my journey these last few months. So if you are seeking help, make sure it's someone experienced with issues that you faced in the past or similar, and someone that you connect with. 2, alone time. Oh my gosh, this is something that I've always been petrified of. Like, I literally mean petrified. Like, I'm always watching movies or going for a jog or playing games, like anything to distract myself, right? So lately, after some really good advice from my friend, thank you, Mems, I love you, I just sat down on my balcony with some coffee, no electronics, no music, like nothing, okay, nothing. And I just absorbed the world for a moment. And I cried, I laughed, and then I chilled the fuck out. The key is to let your mind run free, do what it needs to, but try not to engage and get caught in the thoughts, because then what happens is we develop emotional reactions or we develop scenarios in our head. Actually, one of the key teachings in meditation, be aware, don't interact. It works. It has impacted my day. Right? The last few days. It doesn't fix anything, really doesn't. I don't come back and suddenly I'm cured. The feelings, the sadness that I'm experiencing comes back, but like there's a bit more clarity around it. It's not so raw anymore. It's just that little bit less intense each time. And I owe it to spending that time with myself. Third thing, provide yourself an interim where you're just unhealthy, okay? Like, go get your junk food, go get your depressing movies ready, cry, scream, if you can afford to, break a few things, right? Please don't hurt anyone, including yourself. Avoid substances like alcohol, cigarettes, and recreational drugs. I don't personally engage in these things normally as it is, but they hinder judgment and they also amplify negative emotions. They're not really a healthy way of dealing with these types of situations. At least junk food, the body can tolerate it for a few days and you're still thinking, right? You're still in that position to be able to experience everything. Whereas mind-altering, emotion-altering drugs are probably not the best way to go. So personal opinion, highly advise against all of that. Next up, yes, but be healthy is where I was leading with. Try to exercise, right? I'm not saying you need to go into gym and thrash yourself. I mean, get out there, breathe the fresh air, go for a walk. Try to avoid listening to music. Like, I personally can't stand to go exercising without music. But that alone time, again, it's vital, it's great. You absorb the world around you in. You're thinking a bit more clearly because you're not being influenced by music, which for me, music is like highly emotionally impacting. It gets me into a mood. So yeah, definitely go for some exercise, go back to eating healthy. Food does impact our emotional well-being. Finally, sleeping patterns. Try and get yourself into bed at a particular time each night. For those of you suffering from insomnia, I know it's really hard, believe me, I know. But just getting yourself in bed and giving your body a chance to relax, even though you may not be relaxed, is still quite vital. Sleep impacts human biology a lot more than what a lot of people think, including mood, hormones. I would love to hear your stories. Okay, so I'm concluding. Please, if you feel comfortable, comment them, comment any feedback you have to give about my video. I'd love to hear it, negative or positive. Tips that you have to give other people. If you just need a vent, fucking vent, let it out. And if you don't feel comfortable commenting, go into the personal messages and send me a DM. I'll read it. I promise I'll get back to you when I can. I would genuinely love to hear how other people are going through this sense of loneliness or sense of emptiness or lack of purpose that we might be feeling, and what you're doing to cope with that. Alright folks, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Oh my gosh, this is my official first video. I'm so happy. I hope you have a relatively good day. If it's been really shitty, and if it's already good, I hope it gets better. Bye!